Greetings, Five Claw. Raz is happy to see you. Raz presumes Prince Azaz sent you? This one is grateful for the assistance. These damnable soul flares are like glass bottles full of kindle pitch. Your first misstep around them will be your last. Not yet. When someone wanders too close, they release a pulse of necrotic energy, killing the body and harvesting the soul. Ugh. Still, Raz noticed something odd. Smoke in the western part of the ruins. A camp, he thinks. Who else but the worm cult would be in this place? Perhaps the cultists are not quite finished setting up their defenses. Or maybe they are guarding something there. Either way, it calls for a closer look. What do you think, Five Claw? Here, this one will mark the spot on your map. Look for the smoke when we get close, yes? Raz is grateful for your company, Five Claw. Cultists and Daedra patrol these ruins. It is unwise to travel alone. The heaviest concentration of the flares is within the inner precinct, or up on the walls. Stay alert, and you can spot them before you get too close. But we must be careful. Some flares are hidden among the ruins, or positioned around corners. Raz learned the hard way. First, a chill runs along the back of your neck. Then a horrible, racking pain ripples through your body. If you are quick, you can retreat before the flare rips out your soul. So far, Raz has been quick. You rescued Vanus? Nice work! Prince Azad discovered this one's usefulness as a scout and spy. While you were busy, Raz occupied himself with searching this side of the island for worm cult activity. There are low-ranking worm cultists everywhere, but few leaders or major outposts besides Gristmong hold. Raz thinks most of the important cultists have withdrawn behind NARIL's walls. They are counting on their soul flares to defend them. The heaviest concentration of the flares is within the inner precinct, or up on the walls. Stay alert, and you can spot them before you get too close. But we must be careful. Some flares are hidden among the ruins, or positioned around corners. Raz learned the hard way. First, a chill runs along the back of your neck. Then a horrible, racking pain ripples through your body. If you are quick, you can retreat before the flare rips out your soul. So far, Raz has been quick. Raz has lost the trail. We should turn back. A letter? What does it say?
There's a supply sack just there.
their defenses. We need to find this flaw.
Ah, that could be helpful.
How did that deer get past the death field? What killed this cultist? Check the body carefully. Another letter? Does it explain what happened here? The only soul flare Raz sees is above us, beyond the crack in the wall. Did this cultist walk into the death field and tumble down here? Yet if the device worked well enough to kill her, how did the deer pass by unscathed? Raz knows that statues are not always just statues, and that one does not look like it belongs here. But a stone nest warrior made of stone next to a crack in the wall of an old Daedric ruin? This one wonders. Living statues? Ah, this one walked here then. But Raz thinks it walks no longer. Still, the old magic that gave this Voskrona life must linger in some way, and it interferes with the soul flayers. There must be some way we can use this. Ah, you always say the nicest things to Raz. Yet, this situation gives Raz pause. The deer survived, yes. The cultist clearly did not. This one would like to know why before either of us walks bravely into the death field of one of the soul flayers. Raz thinks so too. We need to learn more about this statue. Our Stone Nest allies must know something. It certainly appears to be one of theirs, yes? Return to camp and ask Jitra about it. Raz will follow soon, after a bit more scouting.
We do not agree. On this, my will is as set as stone.
Only a fool thinks stone mightier than the will of the sea. I can plainly see a question upon your... I prepared my villagers and Barjossa for interment in the stone, but it was clear they were incomplete, hollow. Damn the corpse stealers for taking their souls. But you did not come to hear me complain, did you? Speak your question. Ah, the Voskrona Colossals. My ancestors sent them against MOR NARIL in the distant past. I thought nothing remained of those statues but the unliving stone. You remind me that this is not the first time we face necrotic enemies who steal souls. Long ago, my people were called upon to battle a terrible evil in MOR NARIL. They made the Voskrona for that purpose. Down through the ages, evil has returned from time to time. Most recently, when the Corellanias came to plunder MOR NARIL's secrets. You ask about old stories, tales for kin fresh out of the egg. I cannot say how many are true. This is a question for a wise elder. Luckily, I know one. Meet me in the caves at Basking Stone to the southwest. We will find Sonasa there. Sonasa has taken refuge in the hills to the southwest. The caves of Basking Stone have protected my people in the past, although it has been centuries since we needed them as we do now. Hopefully, the Elder will have the answers you seek. You ask of things I was not taught as a death dancer. I assume many of the Voskrona around MOR NARIL were damaged or destroyed in battle. I suspect any intact Colossals are simply inert, having fulfilled their purpose long ago. Who knows? All I can tell you is that Voskrona do not stir without a purpose. If these Voskrona are still, no purpose remains to move them. Perhaps they simply completed whatever they were sent to MOR NARIL to do long ago. Long ago? Hundreds of years? Thousands? My people do not bother to count the seasons as others do. How do you sit by the river and count the stones along its bank? I suppose you would say it happened sometime in the First Era? Power. What else? The Corellanias who first came here were necromancers. They sought Daedric relics, hidden secrets, forbidden weapons. My people told them to avoid MOR NARIL, but the elves were driven by dark ambitions. They ignored our warnings. Our stories tell of how the Stone Nest people fought back. Our elders know those tales better than I do, but I've heard that, in the end, the Corellania's ambitions consumed them. Those who live in Sunport now are a lesser but wiser house. You ask of things I was not taught as a death dancer. I assume many of the Voskrona around MOR NARIL were damaged or destroyed in battle. I suspect any intact Colossals are simply inert, having fulfilled their purpose long ago.
An interesting development, comrade. Go with Jitra. Speak to this elder. Perhaps we will actually find an answer in the old tales of the Stone Nest people.
Ah, Mainlander. Dietra waits for you below.
Watch for you. You may pass. so, Nasa. My ally has questions about the Long Vigil.
Those stories are not meant for outsiders, Jitra. But I have heard tales of this one. I will speak with the mainlander. You wish to hear of the Long Vigil? The legend says we did not come to Solstice by accident. Long ago, we were guided here. In exchange for our new home, we were entrusted with a sacred mission. To guard the world's soul against the final dark. These attacks by the Daedric realms are not new. It is said our ancestors armored their spirits in stone. They created the Vaskrana to resist death magic, so they could seal the forbidden fane and deprive it of souls. Indeed, they set the Colossals to watch over MOR NARIL forever. The Long Vigil. Alas, the secret to awaken them is lost. We carved our memories in stone, but the obelisk of the Long Vigil crumbled centuries ago. All that remains are the legends. There are two sides to every story. Long after our ancestors first sealed MOR NARIL, they had to fight off Corellania forays. Elven records of those troubled times reside in the library of the Sea and Sword Lodge. You could seek your answers there. It is ironic. The words we carved in stone and committed to our hearts are now lost to us. But Corellania scholars with ink and fragile parchment may have preserved something we did not. Look for the lodge in the mountains to the west. I am not the keeper of that story. I know only what I heard recited long ago, when I was but newly hatched. But as I heard it, our people were told to make warriors of stone when we first came to Solstice, an army to face the final dark. Our ancestors marched against MOR NARIL, a terrible battle against the Daedric legions of Molag Bal ensued. Many Stone Nest warriors fell, and many Vaskrana were destroyed. But some reached the forbidden place, the Wraith Forge. The Wraith Forge was banished, torn from the very rock in the heart of MOR NARIL. Some say the Vaskrana destroyed it. Others say Molag Bal took it into his realm to preserve it. No one remembers the exact details now. I do not think so. Many of our people have been killed, yes. But Pasking Stone is not our only refuge. There are other places of safety, hidden throughout the stone of Eastern Solstice. Whole villages may have found shelter in them. Alas, no. Two elders carried the tale of the Vaskrana, and I knew them both. They died when the worm cult first occupied our land, victims of the senseless slaughter. We are lessened by their deaths, but we are not defeated yet. I am not the keeper of that story. I know only what I heard recited long ago, when I was but newly hatched.
I know someone at the Elven Library. I will meet you there, Mainlander. We will remind the corpse stealers that our vigil is not yet done. The Lodge of the Sea and Sword College is in the mountains, not far from where the writhing wall stood. I do not know what we will find there. Solstice's troubles have left few places untouched. Daedra, we must reach the library in the southern section of the complex. This tunnel was not here before. What have the Daedra done? That door leads to the library, but it appears locked. They kept a key in the study hall to the north. There, down below. Tendencie the librarian. This way.
Stay back, Daedra. I will not warn you again. Oh, Daedra. What are you doing here?
We need your help. Go on, Mainlander. Tell her what we seek.
I am glad to see Jeetra alive after all the recent troubles. We have collaborated before, but it has been some time. And as I'm sure you noticed, the Lodge is not safe. What brings you here? A dark and dangerous subject, I fear. We keep books of that sort hidden. You could search these shelves for years to no avail. We do not want to tempt anyone to repeat the mistakes of the past. What exactly do you hope to find? Ah, searching for solutions to our current predicament, no doubt. You may be onto something. It is true that the Stone Nest repelled the first Corellania expedition to Eastern Solstice. But do any of their ancient colossals remain intact? Very well. Allowing outsiders to have a look at the restricted parts of our collection is rather against the rules. But under these circumstances, I think it would be warranted. One moment. I need to refer to our catalogue. Yes, these may be of help to you. There. I summoned the volumes that should contain the information you seek. Not many records survive from the middle of the First Era, unfortunately. What little remains that would be relevant to your inquiry is in the glowing tomes I summoned from the vaults. I hope something within them can help you.
You examine the tomes. I will read over your shoulder. Kinlord Orlamar took the eyes from the sacred statues and displayed them at his manor. The brazen thief. The old Corellanias tried to claim more NARIL, but my ancestors used the Vaskrona to stop them. Strange to see my people's legends confirmed in these ancient Corellanian writings. But I am not sure how it helps us make use of the Vaskrona Colossals. I thought that phrase was unusual. I assumed it was some sort of metaphor. You suggest that the ancient Vaskrona once had literal eyes. The dormant colossals at MOR NARIL have empty sockets, but no eyes. So, you could be onto something. The Stone Nest people remember Kinlord Orlamar as a difficult neighbor. Under his reign, Sunport expanded into Eastern Solstice. I am not surprised he hoarded our sacred relics in the vaults beneath Vaidenhill. They may still be there. Let me see your map. The manor sits beside a lake to the north. There are stories about treasures hidden there. Traps as well. But Vaidenhill is in ruins now. Orlamar did not enjoy his gold or stolen relics for long. I will meet you there.
Do not concern yourself over me. I am more than capable of defending myself, and I refuse to abandon my books. But I am glad to see that Solstice still has its defenders. Good hunting to all of you. Hopefully you can put a stop to all this chaos.
I doubt we will find much among the surface ruins. If anything remains to be recovered from this place, it must be somewhere below. Look for an entrance or a hole in the ground. The old tomes spoke of the eyes of the Colossal, something that fits in the face of a Voskrona. Restore them to a statue at NARIL, and we should bring it to life. How we get the Voskrona to protect us from the flares is a problem for later. One or two eyes could be misplaced, but I think my ancestors would have stopped any systematic looting of the Voskrona. No, I think it more likely that our own elders removed the eyes, and then lost that knowledge somewhere along the way. Guardians such as the Colossals are not meant to remain constantly active. The legends say they were called from sleep when required. But whatever the reason, they are lost to us. If the Kinlord's greed proves useful, we may find the eyes here. A trap door. Let us descend and see if it leads to the Kinlord's vault.
Oh, nice. What did you find?
It seems we must watch out for vermin as well as undead.
Take no pleasure in killing.
Became of us?
But I'm glad we're alive
When
and
first
they're
we
not.
came to this land, we tamed the wilds with sword and spell.
A Coralania ghost, trapped by its own regrets. I wonder what it sees in those ancient murals. There is no telling what horrors the old Coralanias used to protect their treasures. Be on your guard, Mainlander, as we descend into the depths. I think this is the vault. Now, how do we open it? Interesting. These symbols correspond with the figures the ghost was looking at. Working. Try another pedestal. Protecting the door is gone. Look around. If the eyes of the Colossal are here, we must find them. Like the Coralanias of old. They had no use for a thing, yet they kept it anyway. Look for a display, perhaps. You found the eyes? Good. May I see them? Interesting. To hold in my hands a legend out of time. Take the eyes of the Colossal to the Fellowship camp. I will go to Basking Stone Refuge and summon Elder Zonasa. We will need him for what comes next. How should I know? I am not an Elder. Waking a Voss Krona could be the easy part. What if they cannot tell the difference between the Corpse Stealers and the Sturk Fellowship? You are all strangers to them. Zonasa can help us with that. I hope. Optimism is not in my nature, but I agree. Now that Elder Zonasa has had some time to think, he may remember more. If we put these eyes in his hands, I believe the answer we need will come to him. I will see you at the camp.
Some questions.
Comrade, a Stone Nest Elder waits to speak with you.
Chitra told me of your adventures in retrieving the eyes of the Colossal. But I am even more impressed by this alliance you have built. My days as a warrior are long past, but I will help if I can. Do you have the sacred eyes? These are the eyes. Our tales speak of the Voskrona Colossals and their eyes, but no one knew exactly what our ancestors meant. These crystals are a promise, a sign that the long vigil was not in vain. You found documents as well? Let me see. As I thought. If there is a ritual, it was lost to time, yet that does not mean you have failed. We may not remember the ritual, but the stone does not forget. I can speak to a colossal, remind it of its purpose. By itself, no. But with the sacred eyes you've brought me, we can take control of a Vaskrona Colossal. Guide it. If you go into MOR NARIL, you can do so with a powerful ally at your command. Speak with your fellows. I must prepare.
Come, comrade. Let us discuss what you have learned.
Speak with Prince Azar, friend. I do not think Manamarco perceives the danger those old Argonian statues pose to his defenses. But he is rather brilliant. Let's not give him time to figure it out.
How strange that my own ancestors left us a weapon against the corpse stealers before anyone here was even hatched. Talk to Prince Azar. There must be a way to use the Vaskrona.
This one is pleased to see that our investigations of worm-called camps and strange old statues have borne fruit. Speak with Prince Azar, Five Claw. There must be a way to use what you and Jitra found.
There's a rumor going around camp about giant statues and sacred eyes. Can't wait to see what you and Prince Azar have up your sleeves. He's waiting to talk to you.
Prince Azar has been speaking with Elder Sonasa of the Stone Nest people. The prince's plan for MOR NARIL is beginning to come together. He has been waiting for your return.
Sounds like you got exactly what Prince Azar was hoping you'd find. A way to get through those damned soul flayers. Don't waste time gabbing with me, pal. Let the prince know what you found.
Razumdar showed me the Argonian statues in the outskirts of MOR NARIL. They tell a tale of ancient battle, and hint at a weakness in the worm cult's defenses. Did I hear Elder Sonasa say we can bring one to life? The ancient Argonians who made those statues came up with a simple answer to the problem of foes armed with death magic. Stone warriors have no lives that can be stolen. There must be a way to use this to our advantage. Or march right up to the flares and smash them. The worm cult would never expect it. Now, how best to spring the surprise? I have it. Your Colossal shall clear the path for our soldiers. This is how we storm Manamarco's lair. No one alive can get close enough to destroy the soul flares. But a giant walking statue, that is another matter. I knew I could count on you to find a way to defeat the worm cult's defenses. I am in your debt, my friend. Here. Look south, comrade. There stands the worm cult's fortress, MOR NARIL. It falls upon us to storm its defenses and defeat Manamarco to end the threat of the worm cult. The only thing standing in our way are those damnable soul flares. The soul flares generate death fields, emanations of necrotic energy that kill any living thing that attempts to approach MOR NARIL. But the Voskrona Colossals are stone automatons that negate necrotic energy, opening the temple to a full assault. Yes, with the eyes of the Colossal you recovered. I want you to help him with a ritual to restore a Colossal while I send for the rest of the Fellowship's forces. We need that stone statue to clear a path through the flares. Can I count on you? Elder Sonasa selected a Colossal for our purposes. It's just beyond an old break in the wall near MOR NARIL's main gate. Check in with the other champions, then go assist the Elder with whatever he requires. Good luck, comrade. They may have insights they wish to share with you, but really I was hoping you would inspire them in the battle to come. A few words of encouragement can go a long way, comrade. Make your way to the wall when you are finished. I'll meet you inside. Speak your mind, comrade. I may not have the answers you seek, but I will do my best. Getting past MOR NARIL's walls is not the problem. Dealing with the soul flayers is the true obstacle. The courtyards within the walls are filled with the worm cult's murderous devices. That is why we need the Colossal. Not much more than I can see with my own eyes. But the Stone Nest Argonians know MOR NARIL as a place of ancient evil. Jitra tells me her ancestors took it upon themselves to guard these ruins. They call it the Final Dark. As I understand the tale, Daedric cultists and others, tempted by power, have come to Solstice to plunder MOR NARIL's secrets in the past. For example, the ancient Corellanias found the gift of death here. The worm cult is but the latest threat. This ancient Daedric temple has long been sought after by cultists, necromancers, and others seeking power. Vaunus reminded me that Manamarco sought to make himself a god during the first plane meld. Obviously, he retains that mad ambition. There is this Wraith Forge we heard about. If Manamarco succeeds in dragging it down from Cold Harbor, we believe he can use it to restore his true body and complete his ascendancy to godhood. We need to stop him from doing that, at all costs.
Fellowship scouts spotted a Voskrona Colossal that should serve our purpose. It lies just beyond a break in the temple's outer wall. I will meet you there.